Überraschend der Weise sind wir. Oh, sorry. I had something else in my brain. In a surprising way, look at this sky at the end of May. So there's actually predictions for storms today. A guide pointed it out to me last night. He said that we were going to have storms. I noticed the camera is at an angle. Just let me center it a little bit for a second. I hope there won't be a major disturbance. Maybe this will help a little bit to get it more horizontal. That's a little bit better, hopefully. So usually we don't see any rain, not even in April, although it's not infrequent to have it. But in May it's very unusual. So let's see if there will really be rain or not. There's a 70% prognosis. And I'm not sure if that was for tomorrow, either or today or tomorrow. So I want to take you to see the progress of the Ponciano red blossoms. That's our Pentecost colors. And then I just am so excited about the readings. The amazing, dramatic result that is documented in this Easter season. So here we've got a little bit more red coming. It's interesting how nature and grace are in sync, which in a way is the big challenge of our lives, because we also have all that dimension of nature in us, but oftentimes we're out of sync with grace. And that's really the whole struggle of our lives. And it's not just our struggle, it's the gift of grace, and that's the Holy Spirit's work in us to have us transformed and to reach that amazing harmony, the original intended harmony of the human being that we long for. Our free will is the arena of the challenge. And we often rebel inside and have quite the struggle to duken altum, to go out into the deep of the battle. Be satisfied with certain satisfactions rather than going through to fulfillment. And the Holy Spirit will lead us into the deep of love, the deep of self-giving. Our vocation is complete communion with God. And that's very tried and tested. We write out tendencies to impose ourselves, to dominate, to judge, to covet, to cheat. And we end up very sad, broken, alienated. Maybe for a time we can relish that and savor that momentane victory, that Pyrrhic victory, where we seem to have had a great satisfaction, but then at the end we're empty. And we really do need somehow to get that integration of nature and grace. And I talk about that because the red blossoms over there, they always come out at Pentecost. And Pentecost is a sliding date on our calendar of months. January, February, March, April, May, June. So it's rarely on the same date. Maybe every so many years it'll coincide on the same date, but it can be weeks different, and yet the red blossoms are there. And the reason for that's very simple, that the calendar for our liturgy is not based on the months. That's why we have a sliding calendar for Easter. Sometimes it's earlier in April, sometimes it's later in April. Usually it's always in April. But it's based on the moon. And the Jewish calendar for the Passover is on the first full moon after the spring equinox. Then the full moon is the exact measure. We don't go with that particular moment of nature. We go with the following Sunday, which is the resurrection. But then that's also fixed there. So it's quite interesting to see that relationship. And so because of that natural cycle, then obviously that has a huge impact on growth and springtime, on the development of the plants, the cycles. And today we see that victory of nature and grace reaching a great symbiosis in a surprising dramatic way, because Peter is going to be crucified, and he's just been revealed that in the reading yesterday. And now he's interested in knowing John's story. Well, you mind your own business, Peter. John has his relationship with the Lord, and he will have his moment if he's going to be a martyr or not, if he will die before the second coming or not. And our curiosity about the lives of others, which in a way it's fascinating to know the stories of others, but there's also a whole domain there that's sacred that we can't mess with, we can't enter. We have to respect the mystery of God with each soul. And then we have Paul, and now he's in prison in Rome. We're at the end of the Acts of the Apostles. The Acts of the Apostles are completely taken up with, from the beginning to the end, with the birth of the church. Right after Easter, they tell the story all the way up to Peter and Paul, both in Rome. Well, the gospel passage physically is obviously a conversation in Galilee, but it's absolutely clearly about Peter's crucifixion in Rome, and even about John's passing, this last chapter, 21. And so here we see the transformation of lads from the Sea of Galilee, fishermen, and the sun came out in their lives from all the normal routine of their days, and Jesus called them to follow him, and they had all their own personal ambitions and tensions, and John wanted to call down fire and sulfur from heaven over the village in Samaria that didn't accept him. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. Paul was an enemy of the Christian community, violently attacking them, seeking to destroy them and banish them. I wonder what this cat's looking for. You see these guys, just very normal guys, fishermen. Paul was probably a bit more an academic. There's a lot of advanced studies in Jerusalem under Gamaliel. Peter was living in the house with his mother-in-law, working with his brother Andrew. James and John had their employees in the family, and they leave everything and are completely transformed to that point of transformation. And all of us are in our places. Very normal in many ways. And from there we're called. And we're being transformed by grace, by the Holy Spirit's action in our lives. The Spirit hovering over the waters. Like life from the very beginning, leading us to life forever, to the greatest maturity and conclusion. And we'll finish off with this line from the Psalm today: "The just will gaze on your face, O Lord." The just will gaze on your face, O Lord. When nature and grace will be completely in sync. So God bless you today from the Sea of Galilee as we prepare for the big celebration of Pentecost tomorrow. Shabbat Shalom to all our Jewish friends and a blessed Pentecost.